Elena. Elena?
No.
Oh, Elena.
No.
Alana.
You were first. You were You're right the first time is what I'm trying
Alana.
to say.
J-Lo.
Yeah.
J to the low. You finished Joe Gould's Secret.
I did.
What'd you think?
It was really interesting. And it was interesting that it was actually a true story.
What stuck out to you about the book?
Just the whole thing about how Joseph Mitchell was trying to get this oral history written about, which
Joseph Mitchell was trying to get the book written?
I'm sorry, Joe Gould was trying to get the book written.
Okay.
And Joseph Mitchell was interviewing him about the oral history, and there was like pages and pages he was working on, and he kept saying that he had to find the pages because they were stuck in this farmhouse and all these different kinds of stories. And then not only that, Joe Gould was a poor guy, and he would somehow get Joseph Mitchell to pay for his cab fare and pay for his breakfast or pay for his trip to get the oral history from his friend.
Who had a farm, supposedly.
And a niece that was taking care of it when she was gone to take care of a relative or something. Just all these weird stories, weird backstories. And that how he would write, he wrote something about his father dying, and he kind of went off on a tangent about that.
Well, and there's this beautiful line in the book, and maybe I should say the first part and you should say the second part, when he's talking about poetry, and Joe Gould said, in winter I'm a Buddhist.
In summer I'm a nudist.
I'm glad summer's coming up along.
No, I'm not.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I am now. I've heard you say that.
And for that, I don't think my family should hear this.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. No, it was his
They don't need to know about your wild side.
It's Joe Gould. Joe Gould was wild.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the whole flamingo thing, right? When
yeah.
he would dance around like a flamingo and act like he was talking to the flamingos.
Was it flamingos?
Flamingos? Oh, no, wait. What did I say? Flamingo?
You did.
I'm sorry. I meant the seagull.
Yes.
Flamingo. I'm sorry. I don't even know if flamingos even make a noise.
I would assume that they have to...
Seagulls, yes.
Make some sound, right?
Yes. But no, he would dance around like a seagull. And he would claim that he could speak seagull to seagulls.
He reminds me of some people I know.
Yeah, me too, definitely. That is for sure.
But you enjoyed the book.
I did.
I'm very glad I recommended it to you then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can take credit for that one.
Yeah, I'll give you credit for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You are in the middle of The Art of Seduction.
Yes.
What do you think so far? Or maybe you're not in the middle yet, but...
I don't know if I'm in the middle because it's quite a long book so far.
It gets shorter as you go along.
Well, obviously, yeah. When it's
There's
towards
less
the end.
pages to finish.
I'm listening to it. I'm not actually reading it.
Audio to finish.
Audio to finish.
Yes.
It was just talking... It's still talking about the seductive characteristics like the natural, the dandy, the charismatic, the charmer, the coquette, the siren, the rake. It's very interesting stuff.
What do you think of some of the different personality traits? For example, the charm.
Mm-hmm. I think that we've all known someone who was a charmer in our life, you know. It doesn't matter if they were trying to get someone to go out with them. Doesn't matter if they were trying to get someone to do their bidding or whatever it is, or get them to go along with some kind of a project. I think we all have known somebody that's like that in some ways.
Maybe I should rephrase the question. Yes. Do you think that Robert Greene gives an accurate portrayal of these personality types?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know if he gives an accurate portrayal because this is based on his own findings, right?
Yeah.
So I can't really say that he does or not.
But every book is based on the author's own findings, pretty much. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe in some ways he does. I mean, like I said, what I've drawn from this book so far is that I've known someone that have some of the personalities that are mentioned in the book. So, yeah, I dated some people that were just like that.
Oh.
Yeah. Or I've known some girls that may not have been so good looking, but they were able to get the guy they wanted. Even though I thought the guy was a jerk, I mean, they still got the guy.
Because there is something to be said of having a personality that can appeal to other people.
Yeah, and the naturals, I know some people that are naturals, I would say, or they act like naturals. They have a childlike quality to them.
Do you think that you fit into any of the personality types?
That is a really good question. I haven't seen any of that yet. I don't know, really.
Well, later on in the book, he talks about the other personality types, like the Jaylo,
the Hammond.
The Hammonds. I think there's a good chance that you'll fit into the Jaylo category, but I can't,
Really? Because that's my last name.
That is your last name.
Well, okay, so, I don't... That is a really good question. I don't know what I would fit into. Because I don't know. I really don't know.
But it's something to think about. You may not necessarily answer it today.
I don't even know if I know what it would be.
Well, maybe one could make the argument that this is an excuse to go back over it and think of, where do I fit in this? Or do I fit in this? Is there something more that Robert Greene could have said?
Or there could be like a mixture of personalities.
Yeah, because most people are on the spectrum. They're not completely unnatural. They're not completely awake.
It could be, I know for sure I'm not a siren.
Okay.
Because I don't always get the, in the past anyway, I don't always get the guy that I wanted to.
Gee, thanks.
What? In the past.
Okay.
I'm not talking about now. Were you paying attention?
I was paying attention. I noticed you sort of corrected yourself. You're like, I don't always get the guy. Oh, in the past.
Well, you know what I meant.
I know what you meant. Yeah. I haven't always gotten the women that I've wanted.
I don't know. Maybe I could be a little bit of the charmer or a little bit of the charismatic. I don't know. But it seems to me like charismatics are more prone to be like leaders in some cases, like how Malcolm X was talked about.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I would be that.
Did he also talk about JFK and the charismatic?
I did not. I that's where I left off.
Okay.
So I haven't gone there yet. But that's where I left off, yes.
Nice.
But the charmer, too. I mean, because he said that, people could be charmers and not even realize what they're doing.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. For you?
Well, for people in general, because I've known people who fit into a lot of the personality types. And I've definitely known people who turn it on without recognizing that they're turning it on. And there's been occasions where I do things that I just sort of am good at, and I don't even realize that I'm turning on whatever power of persuasion I have.
Me too. Yeah. I mean, I know that with me, for sure, like, somebody will give me a compliment on whatever it is.
Being a nudist in the summer.
No, that's Joe Gould.
Okay.
He would be, but he's not here. Like they'll say, oh, they'll give me whatever compliment it is, or that was really cute when you said this, or whatever. And I'm like, really? I didn't even know you were, I didn't even realize I was even doing it. I didn't even realize that I had, that anyone ever noticed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I notice that with me. I don't always pay attention to what I do as far as...
I've noticed that a lot in the kitchen. It's just having fun, babe.
Really? I thought I did pretty well today in the kitchen.
No, you did really well today in the kitchen.
I did.
Yeah.
See, I'm making progress.
You're making progress. You're getting there.
But anyway, like I was saying, turning back to what I was trying to say. No, I mean, I've had that happen to me where I just didn't know what I was doing, but for some reason, someone was either attracted to me to be around me as just a friend or whatever it was.
Yeah. Or
something more. And I just never, and sometimes I'm just like, wow, I just didn't realize that this person would even be into me, or I didn't realize this person would want to be friends with me because whatever difference we had, or something like that. I don't know.
I was friends with this guy. back when I lived in Kona. So this was like 16 years ago. But anyways, this was a guy I used to go to places with him and pretend that I wasn't listening or pretend that I wasn't part of the conversation. Mm-hmm. And then we meet up later and then he'd be like, okay, Rick, I know you're listening and what do you think of this situation? Right?
Really?
So there's these two girls who are both teachers, and the story does have a point. And they were in their mid-20s. Mm-hmm. He was attracted to both of them. I told him to go out with this one specific girl because I thought that, there was a better likelihood of her saying yes. So we all go to this club. Yeah. There's loud music and there's drinking going on. And I kind of knew the two girls too. Yeah. But not as well as he did. Yeah. And she says to him, because she thinks that I'm not listening because I'm pretending like I'm
not listening,
else. Yeah, but I was listening because he told me to listen. Yeah. And give, my take on it later. Yeah. She told him the story about when she was in... I want to say high school. It might have been college, but I'm going to say high school. It was like a couple weeks before she was going to graduate. Mm-hmm. And this guy came up to her who she's, been going to school with for at least 4 years and said, I have been attracted to you since the first day we met, and I've been thinking about you every single night since then. Wow. And I don't know what to do, but I am completely in love with you, and I'm convinced you're my soulmate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the music was so loud, I don't know how the story ends.
Oh, man.
But suffice it to say, I don't think they got together.
Obviously not if she's single and, that guy was interested in her and the other girl. So, yeah, obviously not. That's so interesting.
I bet that happens a lot with guys.
Oh, you mean like when they first see somebody... They're immediately captured by the charm of the person?
They're captured, and also they have this crush from afar, and it's unrequited love, so they never really get to take it to the next level. And I bet it's actually the minority of guys who even approach a girl and tell them that they've had this long desire to be with them. I bet most guys don't even do that.
That they have...
Well, most guys don't even go up to the woman and say, listen... We've been going to school now for 4 years. I've been in love with you since the first day we met.
Wow.
I bet most guys never even have the confidence to say something like that.
I think girls too.
Girls to some extent, but I think less.
I mean,
girls.
And I'm saying that as an older, more mature girl now.
Somebody who watches 60 Minutes and
all the old shows on CBS.
Watches Murder, She Wrote.
No, I don't watch Murder, She Wrote.
Uh-oh.
No, I don't really watch 60 Minutes much.
Well, somebody who's a little bit older.
Yeah, okay. I don't understand where that was coming from. We'll talk later about that. But yeah, I mean, and sometimes the guy is so shy that they'll wait till however long they have the courage to wait, and they'll say, but I've met the opposite of guys where they'll be bold from the first day that they meet the girl.
For sure, those guys are in the minority.
You could be right about that.
I think
I don't know, like I've been in situations when I was much younger where I never got the guy that I wanted to go out with because I was too shy. Yeah. And I never let him know, I let somebody else know. Mm. And whether or not that got out to him, I'll never know that. I don't think I'll ever know that because I don't know where they are. I don't know where these friends are. They were like friends of mine when I was a teenager. I would never know. And I may never know.
Because you're not on Facebook.
No.
Which I think is great.
Well, because I'm not on Facebook. But I may never know why. I may never know whether this person ever found out.
It's weird. I definitely have more confidence now that I'm a little bit older as far as that stuff goes.
I can see that.
It's easier for me to just ask somebody out.
Yeah, I can see that.
Really?
Do you think it just comes with maturity level and...
Well, there are a few factors. One, I am a little bit more mature. And two, let's be honest, I'm a little bit closer to death.
You're not that close to death.
Well, let's hope not.
Okay, maybe I'm more closer than you are?
We don't know. Just because you're a little bit older, that doesn't mean anything.
I'm just kidding.
Like, I could die in my sleep. I could,
all of us could be closer to death at any time, but...
No, but I'm definitely closer to death now than I was when I was 18.
Oh, I see. Closer to... Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, as you get closer to death, you sort of realize, I'm not going to be here forever. why stress over something like this? Just ask a person out.
Mm-hmm.
Just be open.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, what's the worst that's going to happen is they're going to tell me no, and then I'm not going to spend the next 6 months thinking about this person.
Yeah. And I know when girls and guys are teenagers, if they have a crush, it's like the biggest crush ever.
Yeah, and then you get older and you realize, why was I really into that person?
Mm.
That's happened to me before.
Oh, yeah, I know. Me too.
I'm sure it has happened to me.
Yes, it has happened. And I told you the story about this one guy I had a crush on. And it wouldn't have been easy for us to have a relationship because we were both living in different states. And at the time, which was the late 90s, the internet wasn't as big as it is now. And I didn't know how to email, and
MTV didn't air as many reality shows. They only had a few.
They only had a few, and they had some great videos.
Which they don't have anymore.
No, they don't. No, now it's like reality show overload, and I can't watch it anymore. Except for one. She's Catfish.
Yeah, you love a lot of reality TV.
Not really.
Every time we talk about TV, you're usually telling me about Friends or some reality show.
Yeah, but Friends is not a reality show. It's a sitcom. It's not
okay, but
real.
That's
and the only reason why I tell you about reality shows is just for the little I've watched of them, but what I took away from watching, and I don't even watch them that much anyway. I just maybe a couple episodes of what I was telling you about. Depending on what the show was. I mean, and partly because, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Some reality shows are supposed to be for, well, like in the case of TLC, the Learning Channel, they want to have these some reality shows obviously are trash. And,
sure.
And there's some I wouldn't watch on that channel.
I would make the argument that most reality shows are trash. The vast majority. I would agree a lot of them are, yes. But there are some that are actually kind of interesting.
But there are some that are intriguing because of the content of it, and that's part of the reason why I've watched a couple episodes of some of them. Like for example, Sister Wives, right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I'm going to make an educated opinion, I might as well watch maybe a couple episodes, and I don't remember how many. Because they were so far and few between.
Okay.
Few and far between.
Only 80.
No, it wasn't 80. No. But I would watch, some of it just because I'm like, how would this work? How would this work with so many women around and one guy
mm-hmm.
and several kids?
Mm-hmm.
How would that work? And I've come to the conclusion that it probably doesn't look the way it looks on TV.
Of course.
I don't think it works.
Well, that's with most reality shows. Most of them are very heavily staged, which is why I really don't like it.
I don't know if they're all heavily staged.
I didn't say all. I think there might be some that are really accurate,
mm-hmm.
but I think those are the exceptions to the rule. I'd say probably 97% of them are heavily staged.
I don't know about 90%, but. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but...
You watch a lot of it, though.
Not really.
Okay.
No, really. I mean, I don't even have a TV. I mean...
But you have a computer, and that's just...
I do have a computer, but I haven't been watching reality stuff on it.
Have you watched the new Killer Mike show, Trigger Warning?
No, I know you told me about it, but I don't know.
I really like it, even though it's a reality show, and it has a lot of that reality, this is too fake, this would never really happen. Having said that, it's an enjoyable show to watch.
Is there some funny parts to it?
Yeah, there's a lot of funny parts to it. There's a lot of funny parts to it. But there's always moments in the show where it's like, this was obviously staged. Having said that, I did enjoy watching it, and I would watch the second season of it.
Yeah. What I don't like are the shows like the ones that are kind of more exploitive than educational.
Okay.
And I'm it's so sad because I've watched part of this show before. What was it called?
Benson?
It wasn't Benson, that's a sitcom.
Oh. Home Improvement?
No, that's a sitcom.
Oh.
That's not real.
Oh.
Sorry. It was a TLC show. It had it was about a family from the South, but they're like really, really like trashy. Okay, they're like, they are definitely the epitome of Hicks. And I'm saying that because they really were. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. I think it was called Here Comes Honey Boo Boo or something. So Honey Boo Boo is the nickname of this little girl. Her name was Alana Thompson. Another Alana.
Uh-oh.
Her mother's name is June Shannon.
June Boo Boo Shannon?
No.
Okay.
And she had nicknames for all of her girls.
Okay.
One was Pumpkin, one was, I can't remember what her name was, but Honey Boo Boo was like her nickname. I know it's really weird, I know.
Yeah.
But I don't like shows like that are like, I would say that those shows are really exploitive.
Aren't most reality shows exploitive, though?
It really depends on what you're watching, though. If it's like a documentary that you could learn something from, maybe not.
But even documentaries are a little bit exploited. Like, I know we disagree on this. I'm assuming we do. I'm a Michael Moore fan, right? Having said that, I do think that he probably, goes in with a bias on the type of films he wants to make. And
I agree because I've seen both of his films.
He's made more than 2 films.
No, I know. I'm just saying that I saw both 2 of his films.
What films did you see?
Fahrenheit 9/11 and Fahrenheit 9/11 and Super Size Me.
No. Fahrenheit 11/9. Oh no, sorry. Fahrenheit 9/11 was one of his. Super Size Me was Morgan Spurlock.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought those.
I did like Fahrenheit 9/11. What didn't you like about it?
I don't know. Another example of exploitation, I think.
And who was exploited in that?
Well, he just I don't want to get into it. I just thought that he made the said person that was the topic of the documentary.
You're talking
like
about George
idiot.
W. Bush.
Yes.
We don't need to go there, but
no, we're not going there.
Bush didn't do himself a lot of favors. Let's just put it that way. But I like a lot of his films, and I did like that one. But he definitely goes in with a bias, and I think most filmmakers go in with a bias. So even if it's a documentary, it doesn't mean that you can't learn something from it, but it means that you have to be aware that the filmmaker likely has some sort of bias.
And by the way, I'm not really like necessarily a complete Bush supporter.
I'm not a Bush supporter at all, but go ahead.
Yeah, I know that. But I'm not happy with some of the things that the Bush family has done recently. So I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna defend some of the things that he has or hasn't done or whatever. Because I'm not gonna go into that.
Sure.
But the Super Size Me documentary was kind of interesting. It was really dangerous, though, because... Have you seen that?
I have seen it. Morgan Spurlock, not Michael Moore.
Morgan
Spurlock did make it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one was a really popular documentary, but
I didn't really like it, to be honest, and it's not that, it's the worst film ever made. It just didn't appeal to me.
I thought they were taking a big risk, because this guy had to eat McDonald's food, every single day. Mm-hmm. And even though he was watched by a doctor, that could have ultimately killed him.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really dangerous. But I will say that I give this person props for making a documentary like this. I thought it was creative, but that's really a dangerous thing to do.
You said something that I found interesting, if we could go back to the Bush family. What? You say that you disagree with some of the stuff they've been doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't... So when they were in office, I didn't really know much about politics, but I think when it comes to now... they are, I think, people that I wouldn't consider real quote unquote conservatives, and I think they're part of the establishment. George H.W. Bush. I don't know much about him because, he was in office when I was really young. I mean,
right.
He was in office before Bill Clinton was in office, so I don't know much about his policies. although I have heard that he was more, he didn't really want to, he was kind of looser. Like he wanted to be more of like a bipartisan president, I think. And I had some issue with that. Well,
Okay.
and I also have some issue with the current Bushes right now that are, that are around. But that's something I don't need to get into right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
As I've said, I'm not a fan of the Bush family at all. One thing that I find interesting about George H.W. Bush, rather, he ran for the presidential nomination in 1980 for the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. Ended up going to Ronald Reagan. Mm-hmm. Reagan. I believe he said during that campaign that he was pro-choice, and then he immediately flipped once he got the vice presidential nomination, and said that he was George H.W. Bush
when he was a vice president.
When he was running for president, because he was running for president. He was running to get the Republican nomination for president. And when he was running to get the nomination for president, he said that he was pro-choice. And then when Ronald Reagan selected him to be his vice presidential candidate, he then said that he was pro-life.
Wow.
So just something to think about there.
Yeah.
About somebody who flip-flops on issues.
Right.
And it is interesting to me that after 9/11, they let the Saudi family fly out of the U.S.
No. Well, again, back then I wasn't really into...
No, but you can do research now. But so there's some interesting stuff there about the Bush family. Mm-hmm. We've gone on some interesting tangents along Jaylo.
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah. But it's good. It's good to study this, part of history and find out about the Bushes and...
Find out about the bushes.
The bushes.
And the trees and the leaves and the grass.
And the grass that passes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The grass that passes where?
Under our feet.
Under our feet.
Under our feet.
Under my thumb.
Under my thumb. So, what are some self-love practices you have been doing within the last couple of weeks or that you plan to do in the near future?
Well, one thing... so I don't know if this is a self-love thing. Well, of course, I've been I've been getting ready for the next performance coming up here, which is good. Mm-hmm. So that's a good question. I never really thought about it, actually. Just getting some things done that really are important. Like this past week, I told you that I took this technology assessment.
Yes.
To see where I was technology-wise for a possible prospective job. Mm-hmm. And I really learned a lot about myself, and it wasn't bad. It was just that I knew that there were some things after that was rusty, and so did the AT person that was working with me.
What's the biggest thing you learned about yourself, or one of the biggest things?
That there were things that I didn't even know.
You thought you knew everything before this?
No. I mean, technology-wise.
Okay.
Like, to make my computer, the internet so much more faster for me. Yeah. I did not know that.
Okay.
I did not know that there was a faster way to go to headings. I did not know there was a faster way to find a program, because I'm used to doing it the way I do it. Mm-hmm. Not that I have to do it that way, but it would be good to know, because it would make my work more efficient if I ended up doing like a secretarial job or whatever. But it wasn't bad. He just knew that there were some things that I could brush up on, and I agreed that it wouldn't hurt to brush up on some skills, and that would make me more efficient. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like, even if you play an instrument, and I told you that I was definitely considering taking more flute lessons again.
Yeah.
And, or at least performing in an ensemble. Which, that reminds me, I have to check the website, because sometimes they don't update their schedule. Mm-hmm. It's very frustrating. But thinking about that, and really getting better and improving my craft, because there's always, I think I think we improve every day that we are involved with whatever we're doing, whether it's playing an instrument or whatever it is. Finding ways to improve yourself with that. I think that's important. And also with the stuff that we've been doing.
Athletic stuff, yeah.
Athletic stuff. Getting more active.
Yeah.
Moving around, trying new things, getting back to old things. Yeah.
That's good. So you do have some plans. You want to do some more activities.
Yes.
You want to find out about being part of a flute ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about you?
I did an update. I did get a new mattress. So that is good.
That's very good.
I want to continue working on guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take a look at some of the relationships in my life. Not romantic relationships. I'm only in one of those right now.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Or there's gonna be some trouble there.
We might have to do some sister wife stuff. But
No.
I'm not with your sisters. You'll have to adopt some sisters.
I'm not married.
No, but adopt some sisters. And then we can do some sister wife stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, anyways. Adopt some sisters who are of legal age. But anyways. I've been working on playing instruments. I need to do some more open mics as far as poetry goes. And just continue meditation. I've been off a little bit meditating in the last couple of weeks or so. And I need to get back on the meditation ball.
Yeah, and honestly, I've been slacking on my Bible reading in the morning. Because been listening to this book and other things have been on my mind, and I need to. I got back into it this morning. And I always feel better after I start a morning after reading.
After reading the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you read the Bible. I need to do more meditation. So we got some spiritual stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
You doing the Bible, me doing the meditating.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe next Friday we'll have a Freaky Friday and I'll read the Bible and you'll do some meditating.
No.
I'm not going to read the Bible.
No, I'm not going to do meditating.
And I'm not going to read the Bible, so. All right, Alana, is there anything else you wanted to say?
Dinner was good. Lunch/dinner.
What we have?
We had some grilled cheese sandwiches, and I accidentally ate one of the spices in the pickle jar.
Explain
which I didn't even know what that was.
Explain this.
There was a spice in this long thing. It was kind of a long thing.
So a backstory.
Yeah.
I really like these sweet and spicy kosher pickles that they sell.
Yep.
Yes. And in the grind seasoning, or whatever you want to call it, I think it's the grime.
The brine. The brine. Yeah.
I'm dyslexic. In the brine, they have these like peppers.
That was what I ate. I didn't even know what it was, and I'm like, oh, this is really... And the good thing is that since I was eating a sandwich with cream cheese in it, and cheese, it counteracted the spice. So after a while, the spice was over, and I wasn't burning. And even when I drank water, it was fine.
Yes.
I was okay. But now I know the round things, pickles; the long things, the peppers, very bad.
Spoken like a typical 38-year-old Republican. Now I know. I'm having fun, babe.
I know you are.
You know I love you. Despite your political grossness.
Grossness?
Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Grossness.
Politically speaking, of course.
I think it's time for my nap.
Yeah, so it's like 3:30 here. We need to go and take a nap. All right.
Well, I need to anyway.
I need to take a nap too. Hopefully you won't.
Okay. I don't think my family should hear this at all.
All right. I trust that you won't.
I think we should edit this part.
Well, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Bye. Alana, Jaylo.
Rick Hammond.